first off, you need your character, right? Well, we're gonna do that and I'll do through. It doesn't really matter what they look like as long as you're comfortable drawing it. So I'm just gonna make something simple so I can, not be terrible. Then you can pick your pose. This is the one I'm picking. Now go to your studio. Oops. And before you take a screenshot, delete their name. And you wanna know how to do this without going out of the studio because you're lazy like me. So I'll show you how to do that. Go to chat, click styles, and their name disappears. Now click view and take your screenshot. Now you're gonna put your picture to anywhere you're gonna speed paint. Then click the check. Don't launch the filter. Lower the opacity of the layer, then make a new layer above that. And if you're not comfortable with tracing it, you can just, do the opacity and make a new layer. And just start from there. We're going to do one without tracing right now. So let's add some small little details. Draw up the color. Make it darker. And start doing your hair strokes. You'll want to do it in the way that the hair flows, or it'll look weird. Look like this. If I do it like that, yeah, it looks weird, right? So you're going to do it in the way the hair flows. Of course, this is always optional. You don't have to do this. So I'll cut this part out. You want to make sure that the layer you're coloring with, and the color is darker than the outline of your character's hair. Because we're going to lower the opacity once we're done with the brush strokes. Then you'll want to do your hairline, which will always be a curve up if you have bangs on your character. Once you're done with that, go back to your layer and lower the opacity. Wait, before you do that, you need to get the blur right here on the side. And you blur out all the brush strokes you just did. Don't do it too hard though, or it'll end up like a big blob like this. Do not. That's gonna come in later. You'll want it to look something like that, and then you can lower the opacity. I like to lower mine to 30, but of course you can do it differently. I'm not in charge. Actually, I might be. Okay, besides that, you want to make a new layer. Oh, and by the way, you'll want to merge the layer that you just did with the hair. This layer, we'll be doing the eyes. So, off on the eyes, you'll want to draw color from there. Oops, I'm still on blur. And you're going to want to color in the shadowing that's already on the character. We're going to do that later. It should look something like that. And then you'll want to color in the eye whites too. It should look a bit like that. Now what I want you to do is get that eye color again and color in your little highlight in the eye right there. After you've done that, take the outline color of your eye and make it look like that highlight wasn't even there. Now make a new layer, and now I want you to get a dark purple color like that. And this may seem weird, but I want you to take your brush and color it like that. Then you can spice it up to make it look like the eye shading you want to have. It should look something like that. Then go back to that layer and lower the opacity to as much as you want, of course. 48 is good for me. Now what I want you to do is go back to the layer, go back to blur, and then blur the bottoms of that. It should look like that. It could look different than this, but this is what I suggest. Now we're going to do the highlights of your eye. So first you're going to merge the two layers of the eyes, make a new layer, then go back to brush, make your color white, and then do any highlights you want. And you'll want to do the same thing in the second eye. Then I want you to go back to that layer and lower the opacity. Then I want you to make a new layer, like that. And now I want you to get the glow brush. You might have to watch an ad if you're on the Ipis Paint, but that's okay. It's worth it. So go to your brushes, go down until you see the glow brush. I use light pale. And then trace your outlines. Make sure it's new. Just a little bit. Now I want you to merge the two layers. And now erase it for the whole pupil. And you might be thinking, why are we erasing everything for the pupil? We're going to lighten up the color of our pupil. When we get back to the brush, just a little bit, and color over the pupil with a new layer. Make sure it looks something like that. If it doesn't, you probably did it wrong. Remember, it looks terrible because this is for beginners. I'll do something more hardcore in the next thing I post. Now you're going to want to thin in the clothes and the outlines for it on a new layer. And make sure you have everything in. Make sure you have, oh my goodness, merged all the layers for the eyes. And then you can thin in your clothes. Make that a separate layer though. Okay, I will leave a part 2 up soon because I'm gonna have to go somewhere. So, bye. Thank you.